Fata Morgana, this Israeli team, are on a collision course with Apex Moon to determine who finishes top in Group A. However, do not sleep on the Israelis' opponents here in this one. Because while these guys have reached the quarterfinals of a World Championship before, and they have got a collection of excellent athletes. In fact, Loic Georgie of Urbancore Mamba was saying that Dima, the team captain, could be one of the best athletes in this tournament. Overground, their opponents, led by that man at the front, Dominic Carlin, they really did pose some problems for Apex Moon, even though they slipped to a 2-0 defeat in their opening game last night. They have added Kirill Kortmuller, a former world champion, to their ranks for this one, returning to the sport after 5 years away. And a serious entrance, flipping left, right and centre for the Swiss. Can they flip this Group A on its head as Dominic Carlin power bombs the rest of his team and their entrance to the quad? This could be a heck of a contest, Joey, couldn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm really excited to watch this one right here. And honestly, you got to give the edge to Fata Morgana for sure. As you said, Dima possibly one of the best out there in this competition. They're looking fantastic, but Overground is no one to sleep on. They've been looking great this tournament, and I think they could pull off an upset here.
Well, Dominic Carlin, he certainly does more than his fair share of work for this Overground team, and he is leading off, but it is Staz, who is a player that Joey had highlighted before we got underway here in Every as one to watch. And look at how much pace he's chucking at him. He's turning this into a race, and is it a race he's going to win? Oh, lovely move out of the mountain. There's a reach from Staz, and he doesn't get there. Dominic, his power, his jump, managed to get in the space, and he's got to get in the point. Is it? Is it? It is! Dominic Carlin with a lead-up point. The Overground team's first of this World Championship.
Dominic Carlin just able to escape. Now, he was doing what we've seen so much before and keeping the opponent close enough but not quite in range. That time, it was about a half a foot too close, though. It could have gone one way or the other. Luckily, he was able to get away on that one. He's got to be tired about going in against Dima here.
But it has got them into the lead. In comes Dima, though, the team captain. Both of these guys rolling their sleeves up as well. Did that feel like a pre-planned route there? Because it didn't seem ideal to use at that time.
It did. I think what happened was, honestly, Dominic was probably very tired. And so what he decided to do is, instead of get back into a foot race, if he could have made that cut and gotten some distance, then he can start to play the slow game and recover a little bit. Dima, great footwork though, just dropping down on top.
Chris Harmer, 33 years old, the gym owner, multiple Ninja Warrior finalist in Switzerland and in Germany as well. Up onto the top of the ridge, not committing to doing anything through the loading bay, but thinking about it, the tilted cube doesn't quite work out as Dima goes around the outside and slips, but not fatally, and brilliantly recovers to go over the sisters and to the safety of the tilted cube. How safe is it? Oh, nearly another slip on the sisters, and then drops the shoulder and still gets away.
Oh man, Dima, like we've said, and like we're gonna continue to see in this competition, the body movements, throwing your opponent off by these shoulder drops and these shifts of weight. Right there at the end, it looked like he almost messed up, but he turned it into a body feint, and that threw Chris Harmat off, so he was not able to make the tag.
Lucien Marty coming in. We talk about EQ, and that's how much stuff there is to hide behind. That should make you safer, but we're seeing guys with their body movements in open ground still manage to throw their chasers off. There's Dima with a high EQ area there, the tilted cube. Then he heads over to the open ground. He's not waiting there. He's going to have to turn on the jets. There's a reach, but it does not make contact. And a dive down low, but Dima's taking the high road and over the bars to safety. And a 2-1 lead. Overground took the first point, and it is the captain of the Israelis who's turned it round.
Dima played that so well as he came around loading bay. Had he gone underneath mountain, it would have been a guaranteed tag. In fact, he even went for the Dorito cut. It would have been a tag. Instead, going over the top and continuing that top line all the way to the front line until the evasion was given.
Big gulps of air for Dima as captain faces captain. Dominic Carlin comes back in. Dima once again Going around the outside, there's a swipe and he gets the hand just as Dima was trying to use that bar to swing around the tilted cube.
Yeah, long arms. It looked like Dima was kind of trying to bait him in so that he could put on the gas and go over Sisters, but waited just a little bit too long and wasn't ready for those long arms from Dom.
Luis Casas. Been with this team from the start. He is a parkour instructor.
Fata Morgana.
Looking to preserve Fata Morgana's lead. Oh, slide through the tilted cube, no tag given. Dominic managing to stay out of the way of that and then taking that high exit through the middle of the mountain once again. The ridge has allowed him to waste some time. Jumps up on that bar. Luis is scrambling, Luis is struggling. Luis isn't going to get there. And Dominic Carlo, the captain, hits back.
Dominic playing it so well. So many fast, jittery movements, especially over there by the ridge. Threw his opponent off about 4 times. Am I going this way? Am I going that way? It's so difficult to deal with that. You just have to be calm and patient and continue moving forward. If your movements are as big as the evaders, you're not going to be able to catch them.
Well, we've only had 6 chases. We've had 4 evasions. This is carnage in the final game of the afternoon session. Shy Turkia comes in and Penguin slide through the tilted cube makes smart.
Really good dive. Not only that, but correct timing from Shy. It literally right at the beginning, no real risk. Okay, you get away there and I reset. Maybe I go for something special, and if I get the tag, now I'm prepped and prepared to go into this evasion basically on a full tank.
Lucian Marti sent back in. He was evaded by Dima earlier on. He gets another chance to leave an impression on this one. Shy Turkia starting at the base of the mountain. 2-2 after 7 chases. Lucian, excellent foot placement, and he goes underneath that bar of the ridge, but he just kind of got stuck a little bit. And Shy waits. He's threatening to go down that outside. He was showing that way and showing that way. He went that way, and Lucian got him.
Yeah, Lucian doing a really nice job that entire time. Even on his first approach into cube, throwing his arms in the air. By getting the tag there, he dropped his hands down onto the bar, making it look like he was going to vault over. That sets the tripwire. Then he's able to get the tag on the open side of tilted cube.
Well, in comes Yuval, and there's just a few words from team captain Dima before he set off. Bit of advice, just trying to calm him down maybe. He was so close. If he just reached out, he could have made the tag there. But he bided his time, and he's biding his time, and that hasn't made contact. And now Lucian might be able to put Overground. He's got out the quad.
No!
Oh, he's not timed it.
No!
He's not timed it. Oh my God.
It was
what a
so
bold
close.
move.
Oh no!
If he just jumped half a second later or a little bit higher, it would have been a masterstroke.
Or even just paused on the edge for half a second. He was in a tough spot, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that was his best option, but it was a split second away.
We have talked about that as an option for so long, but to actually see it in action and it to go wrong. Oh, 2-2 into chase 10. Chris reaches through by the loading bay, and he didn't get the first one, but he was so quickly up to have another go.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for the hand on the first one. Luckily, Yuval just pulls that hand away, but he's still stuck in the corner, and there's not much of an escape to be had.
Well, after 4 evasions in the first 6 chases, we have then had another 4 chases without an evasion, but we've come close. This could be any score come the end of this. Staz comes into it. Chris starting in the middle of the quad. We've seen a few players doing this more, and Staz goes through the tilted cube, and Chris with a 180, and it's a slip, and that nearly worked in his favor.
It almost did, barely got, I think his foot got tagged maybe. It was a really good attempt there from Chris to go underneath that bar on the front line.
Okay, well, there's going to be a break here because Staz, as you can see some blood on the eyebrow there, he's taken a knock. It probably, I assume that's happened over here. In fact, you can see the blood on the quad.
Yeah.
So it's happened, or at least he's bled over here. It might have happened earlier on in the chase, but you assume it's when they got tangled up in this corner near to where we are.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. Maybe when he landed on the ground.
Well, we've got an injury break here. So they will patch him up. We're going to take you back to that incredible maneuver from Lucian. It was so nearly a piece of brilliance to earn his team a point, and in the end, he got it slightly wrong.
Yeah.
This is what happened. This is the chase.
And this is something that we've seen actually Kai Baldwin do before, and just jump out, and he was successful with it, I believe, in Pan Ams. And we see great work coming around here, just continuing that scramble. Good cut. That gives him a lot of space. I think he could have relaxed for a split second here. Oh!
The lights go green. What? Just after his feet hit the floor.
The split second after his feet land.
It is nearly an inspired piece of work. The blood to break his back. Staz is all patched up and he is back on the quad. And Dominic Carlin being sent in again. Well, he sent himself in, he's the team captain. Both players have had a bit of extra time to compose and get their breath back. Dominic using those bars and drops down onto Staz to maintain that parity between the two teams.
Dominic is looking really, really strong for Overground right now. We see that maneuver again, just perching up on top of Tilted Cube, looking at that continuation and striding across Sisters. Even if there was a cutback, it had to happen underneath Sisters. That's the only chance, but it's a risky chance.
Well, it was a big chase tag tournament, not one of the majors, but in Antwerp in Belgium a few months ago. These two teams met and Fata Morgana won it. There might be some revenge for the Swiss here as there's a bounce off the Sisters, and that is the third time he's tried that, Dominic Carlin. The first two have been brilliant, but it went wrong there and it's cost him.
It did go wrong there. Now, to his credit, it looked like he caught himself on the ball pretty well. That's going to be nice moving forward, but it results in the tag for Dima, and a relatively easy tag due to the mistake.
Landing like a sack of potatoes. 3 chasers left, and it is Dima, the man who had back-to-back evasions, the team captain for Fata Morgana, looking to put them into the lead. This has been a compelling contest in Group A. We thought it might be close. Fata Morgana were the favourites, and Dima might be the difference maker here. By the ridge, little wave at him, and then he disappears off. Chris reaches out and does get the tag, and Fata Morgana lead this one, and they lead it late, and it is the captain Dima who has got all 3 points for the Israelis.
Dima waiting and waiting for those tripwires to go off, even throwing a couple of his own when he waves his hand in the air. That's saying, hey, I'm here, I'm moving, I'm being twitchy, come after me. But Dima staying calm and waiting for Chris to make a move. And when it's the wrong move, when it's the instant start, that's when Dima makes his move to escape.
Match point. If Dima goes back-to-back again for the second time in the match, they win it 4-2. If it's a tag by team captain Dominic Carlin, we're going to go to the 16th chase, where he will have to evade to take it to sudden death. Dima staying around the back line. Now he's flushed out and all the way across the quad, and Dominic barreling after him.
Yeah, Dima there, I love his way to avoid going towards loading bay. He decides, I'm going to make it look like I'm going, then I'm going to cut back under the mountain. That was a great move, but Dom, rightly so, just relaxed and maintained center control.
So this is still match point Fata Morgana. Tag made, it's 3-2, that is the end of it. If there's an evasion, it's 3-all, and we go to sudden death. And it is Shai who comes in, trying to get hold of Dominic Carlin, who waits, and there's a dive, and the tag is given, and that is that. Fata Morgana win. They beat the Swiss Overground, just as they did in Antwerp. But Joey, that was a close one.
That was a very close one. Intense back-to-back chases. I think it was head-to-head with the captains 3 or 4 different times during that chase. One of the best, most competitive ones that we've seen in this competition so far. It does go Fata Morgana's way, but Overground showed up.